YouTube? Welcome back. This is your girl, Lady Rosetta May. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about being a pinup of color and how I've been able to navigate that. And so we're just going to go through the basics. So again, please do not forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. All right, so first things that I am going to talk about is finding your vintage inspiration. Um, this is something that I find that tends to be a little bit difficult for pinups of color, meaning that when you first get into it, you're automatically thinking, okay, I'm gonna go towards Marilyn Monroe and Betty Page. They are beautiful, and I'm not saying anything like derogatory about those ladies, but they are not women of color. They're not. And so what worked for them makeup wise, hair wise, is not gonna work for a pinup of color. Um, Finding your inspiration to me means finding that vintage lady of the past that you can readily see yourself in, meaning, same sort of body type, same sort of attitude, same sort of kind of hair and things like that. For me, I wear wigs. There's nothing wrong with that. And so a lot of those vintage ladies of color did wear wigs, or they got a perm. And if you're a natural girl like myself, you don't want to get a perm. So again, finding your vintage inspiration is super important. For me, my vintage inspiration is a jazz singer and actress by the name of Pearl Bailey. Pearl Bailey was a full-figured woman. She had boobs, she had hips, curves, the whole nine. So for me, it's really important to find someone that can be my inspiration, that is that woman of color, that helps me find. I use her as a template, and then I just go ahead and expand my thinking, expand how I see myself as a pinup. So I'm not so much copying her as much anymore. I'm not so much trying to make myself look like her. I am making myself into me. And this is what this journey is about being a pinup, is you're finding yourself and you're being more, confident in yourself. And so that's why first, find your vintage inspiration. So here we have Pearl Bailey, a American actress and singer. She won a Tony Award for the role in the all-black production of Hello Dolly, and she is a great vintage inspiration. So here we have Chelo Alonso, a Cuban actress who was born in 1933 in Cuba. She actually died this year, February 20th, 2019. She was a very famous for playing roles like femme fatales and sensual dance scenes on camera. Dolores Del Rio was a Mexican film actress, television, and theater star with a career spanning over 50 years. She was born in Durango, Mexico in 1904, and she died in Newport Beach, California in 1983. She had films spanning the 1920s and the 1930s. Anna May Wong was an American actress, considered to be the first Chinese American Hollywood movie star. She was born in Los Angeles, California, and died in Santa Monica, California in 1961. She had a varied career that spanned silent film, sound film, television, stage, and radio. Natalie Cole was an American singer, songwriter, and actress.
She was the daughter of Nat King Cole. She rose to success in the mid 1970s. Her perfect rendition of her father's songs and her album Unforgettable has made her unforgettable and a great inspiration for pinups of color.
All right, next thing is finding the best method for styling your hair. Styling your hair as a black woman, period, it's kind of a journey. And so for me, it has taken me years to just get used to being a natural hair care girl. Um, I wear my hair natural at all times. I do not like getting my hair pressed. For me, you know, some of you ladies are African American. I don't like when your hair is pressed and it has the little stringy things after you wash it. It doesn't revert back to your natural curl pattern. That bugs me. So and I don't even flat iron my hair myself anymore. Like I used to get those little strings when I flat iron I just don't do it. I don't flat iron my hair anymore. So I don't get perms. Perms take your hair out if you're not taking care of it and you're not moisturizing and all that jazz. I don't have time for that. I work with kids, and so I don't do those kinds of things. I just don't. So I wash my hair, condition my hair, brush my hair out, twist it up, put my hair back in my wig cap, and I'm back onto my wigs. Speaking of wigs, there are some amazing stylists that do some beautiful work that you could just get your wig done professionally. If you want to have a vintage look and you're willing to spend a little bit more money, you can get a wig done. And so there are plenty of them on Instagram that you can find. Me personally, I love Nasia's hairstyling on Instagram. She's in the UK and she does amazing wigs, custom, any style that you want. Send her a picture. What's up, girl? Send her a picture and she will do the wig for you. Unless there's something like super something going on, she'll do it for you. Another person that you can find is Tony Medina, his Vintage Touch here in Los Angeles area. And he does some of the most beautiful wigs I've ever seen. And if you don't want a wig, go ahead, have him do your hair for you. He's done hair for the likes of our favorite burlesque performer, Dita Von Teese. He's also done hair for Andre Day. He, hands down, is a genius. Hi, Tony. How are you? I hope you see this video. I do. So, moving on. Right now, I actually did this myself. This is a wig that I got from Sensational. I did a little bit of a twist here, and I put my little, wrap on my head. And right now, this is what my hair is looking like. It's not true vintage hair, but it gets the point across, okay? So for me, I just work with my wigs and do the best that I can. So don't let anyone, tell you this is specifically how this is supposed to be done. Find your own way. Whatever makes you comfortable in this community, in your vintage journey, that's perfectly okay. So now we're gonna be moving on to another topic, makeup. All right, so now we are talking about makeup. And for me, makeup is my best feature. I love doing vintage makeup on others, on myself. If you need to be styled, clothing, makeup, that, hit me up on @LadyDayRosettaMay on Instagram. DM me and I will be happy to show you how to do vintage makeup for a price and style you as well. So back to the makeup. Now, I've also done makeup for others. What looks good on me is not specifically going to look good on everybody else. So I always tweak my ways of doing makeup on other people and really do it towards their personality and how they like to look. Not everybody wants to be the cheesecake pinup. Not everybody wants to be the bad girl. Everybody has their own way of doing makeup. And so for me, I love to use products that are local. I also like to use Black-owned products and Black companies. So the foundation that you see me with, that is flawless, Jukebox Place. Okay, this is in the shade Malawi, and I use the concealer, I believe in the shade number 9 here. Today I didn't use this concealer, but I use this concealer most of the time. And if I don't want a lot of heavy products on for concealer, boom, right here. Besame Cosmetics has some of the most beautiful finishing powders anywhere. I love them because female owned, okay? I love that, and I love that they're right here locally produced in Los Angeles. I love that, okay? They have a bunch of shades. The shade that I usually use for my skin tone to highlight is the, I want to say it's French Vanilla Chai. I'm gonna check really fast just to make sure I'm giving you the right information. Yeah, it's the Vanilla Chai powder. It's a great powder. It's kind of like it's like brown almost on the inside. If I can get it to just be cool here. So it's a brownish shade, and I use that to highlight. I use that to highlight under my eyes, down the center of my nose, my chin. I use that to highlight when I don't want to be product heavy. Another thing that I like to use as well from Besame Cosmetics is, if I can show you, are their lipsticks. Now the lipstick that I'm wearing today is Red Hot Red. Hands down one of my favorite shades from Besame, period. I have a lot of their shades. They specialize in vintage reproduction shades. I want to say this one is a 1959 shade. It's kind of based off of Marilyn Monroe's lipstick. And as far as lashes are concerned, I always go with Ardell Wispies, 9 times out of 10. Unless I want to kind of tone it down, then I'll go with the natural lashes. And then, you know, you could always go for traditional vintage makeup. I've had a video for traditional vintage makeup for women of color on my channel, and I will also put that in the description bar down below. So that's how I feel about it. Makeup is what you make it, but of course when you are doing vintage makeup, always make sure the majority of the color is on your lips. You have a little bit of the pink, you know, a little bit of pink blush, and that's it. You don't do a lot of bright eye shades and things like that. Like I said, I did a video on pretty much traditional pinup makeup for women of color on my other channel. I mean, on my other video. So I'll put that again in the description box down below. And that's it. You always, of course, for me, I have hooded eyes, so I tend to go ham in my crease color to make it look like I have a crease. So those are the kinds of things that we can look for and just feel beautiful. I can really say that being a pinup and being a vintage woman has really amped up my beauty game. I really have just enjoyed, it really helps you just enjoy being a woman. It's okay, you know, it's okay to just take your time, do your makeup, feel pretty. It's great. So, and it also just gives you a very, how could I say, it just makes you feel really confident. And so I always tell people, and especially different shops that I shop at in Burbank, that you guys have created a monster, because I know when I put this dress on, I look good, my shape look good, everything is great. And I always tell them thank you, because really being in the vintage community has just brought me so much joy. And so when you do your makeup, hey, continue to feel beautiful and just be yourself. All right, so I'm gonna go on to the next type. or the next topic, which is finding the right style of vintage. All right, so now we're talking about finding the right style of vintage. Vintage clothing, I'm just gonna be honest, can be expensive. That's just the name of the game. It can be expensive. You could also do what I like to do, which is wait for yard sales and Thanksgiving online sales and sales after Christmas. And yeah, I wait for the sales. So now let's talk about the fashion. Vintage fashion is beautiful and it's well made and it tends to last you a long time. As far as I'm concerned, I've had pieces in my closet for years now. They're not threadbare, they're not ripping, they're not tearing. They last you a long time. The top that I'm wearing right now, if you can see, is the Vixen top. I got this from Vixen by Michelin Pet, and she's right down the freeway from me, so I really love the clothing. I love just the idea of Vixen vamp kind of type clothing. I really enjoy it. Her clothing line is way sexy and it has a cool little appeal to it. For me and for my body shape, I tend to go for pencil skirts and low cut tops. For me, because growing up, I kind of had a phobia about my boobs and I had to cover them up all the time, wear the button up flannel shirt, because I didn't want to offend anybody. Now I don't really care. And I'll tell you why. Because God gave me these boobs and I'm gonna show them. That's it. I have them, and so I tend to just be okay with being myself, being okay with what God gave me, and as long as I feel comfortable, I'm comfortable, and that's the point. Wear what makes you feel comfortable. If you like the big circle skirts and the poodle skirts and the big, the skirts underneath, the cranalong, what is it? Gosh. It makes it go poof. You know what I mean? The big circle skirts and things like that. If that makes you feel beautiful, wear it. But for me, when I'm talking about being a pinup of color, we all know women of color tend to be more busty, a little bit more hip, a little bit more booty. You want to make those things look good. And when I say look good, I mean if you find a pencil skirt that hugs your curves just right and makes your booty look just right, that's what you should go for. Try not to get the things that are made for people that are thinner. A lot of things have different cuts, if that makes sense. A lot of clothes have different cuts. A lot of clothes are made differently, for whatever reason. I like things with a little bit more stretch to it, especially in the hip area. And so those are the things that, I kind of look for when it comes to clothes. And then being a woman of color and being the shade, I'm chocolate, I like going for colors that are jewel tone colors. Jewel tone colors like bright yellows and fuchsias and greens. I love those types of colors because they look good on my skin tone. And that's something too that we as women of color and vintage women of color should really think about, is that the colors that look good on our skin tone. What undertone is in our skin tone that makes us look good. Those are the things that I really want, especially vintage girls, vintage women of color. Don't think about what everybody else is doing. Think about what looks good for you and your culture. And if you're Latina, be Latina and rep Latino culture in your vintage, in your vintage apparel. Why not? Don't just go for the typical Americana, kind of thing. If that's not what you're feeling, hey, si se puede, right? Go ahead and just be you. And that's why, I love this the community, the vintage community because they've always been supportive of me. So the next thing we're going to talk about, we are going to talk about vintage events and concerts, and then we'll wrap it up with confidence. All right, see ya. All right, let's talk about vintage events. So, I love going to vintage events. I live in Southern California, and there are a ton of events that pop up year round, and they're really, really great. We have the LA Shag Fest. I have not yet went. Last year, I believe, is in Arcadia. If I'm not, if it was in Arcadia, California. It's pricey, but I think a lot of people have liked it, have had a good time. I've been to Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas is vintage heaven. If you haven't been, you should go. For us, we live in California, so Vegas is about 4 hours away, depending on where you're driving from. Great. It's Thursday, pretty much Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday being a big day, Saturday being a big day. Sunday is when people usually are getting ready to go home, get on the plane and go home. But I really, really suggest Viva Las Vegas to you guys and get the high roller ticket. High roller tickets are about $150. They are great. It gets you into all the events. It gets you into the car show, the burlesque show, the the fashion show. Seriously, go for it. If you are into cars and the hot rods and things like that, go ahead, get into that. And pretty much they sell out really fast. Once they go on sale, the tickets go on sale, they go pretty fast. Maybe that last, like the month before, so the month before April, like maybe mid-March, you won't get tickets anymore. So please get your tickets early if you're gonna go to Viva Las Vegas. The next event that I really enjoy is Dapper Day. I pretty much, again, just hop on the freeway, go to Dapper Day, and it's great. It's twice a year. There's spring and fall events, and then they have events in between with that community. So there's going to be one at the LACMA, the LA County Museum of Contemporary Art, with the lights and everything. It's a very famous museum in Los Angeles. If you go, they have these really cool nights. They have jazz on the lawn, and it's really great. People dress their best. They look amazing. That's the cool thing too, is that you get to see how other people express themselves in the vintage community. And it's amazing. I find it to be one of the most amazing things. I'm like, oh, where'd you get that? Oh my gosh, where'd you get that inspiration? That's what these events are for. And then there's a lot of some cute guys there too, by the way. Yes, I'm married, but I'm just saying, if you're in the single game, there's some hot guys there too. And then also with the vintage events, you get to find out what else is going on, what other places you can go. And you get to meet friends. And that's really, really great. So I'm going to come back with some more events, so stay tuned. Okay, so now we're talking more about vintage events. So some more that you guys can do is go see Postmodern Jukebox. If you haven't seen them, you are missing out. So I'm gonna put a clip of Postmodern Jukebox in this video because I got to see them twice. I saw them here in LA and I saw them in Las Vegas. They are hands down some of the most talented people I've ever seen in my life. Okay, they're dope. They do vintage covers, like jazz covers of new songs, so they're really great. They have a residency up in Vegas, but I say see them on tour. They're really great. If you're in Vegas, see them up there too. I believe they're at the Mirage, if I'm not mistaken, and so that's really cool. If you're in the LA area, you can go to places like the Cicada Club, which are absolutely, it's an old cafeteria. It used to be, I want to say it was a Black-owned cafeteria. It was really cool. And then it shut down. And then it reopened, I want to say in 2010, with a huge makeover. And during the daytime, it's a place where you can go and eat. The food is good. And at night, it gets popping with the club. It's great. It's beautiful. I really, really love it. And so once you go, I believe the cover is maybe like $10 or something like that. They have 3 stories. There's like beautiful decor. It's comfortable. It's really great. Check that out. I believe they're on Broadway in Los Angeles. Another place where you can go is the Cicada Club on the weekends. They have really great bands. They are, I want to say, on 8th in Los Angeles. It is a beautiful 1930s Art Deco decor. The ceiling, I just love looking at the ceiling. The ceiling is like golden. It's beautiful. People dress up to the nines. I mean, that's a place where you want to like really show off what you got. It's really great. Food is delicious. The drinks are great. It's a cool experience. If you've never done anything like that, you know, the jazz, the 3-course meal, the dessert, it's really great. So another thing that you could also do is to just look for them. If you go online, they have some really great places that you can look up. Again, Cicada Club is one. Clifton's Republic, Los Angeles is another. There's also the Pasadena Speakeasy, which is a speakeasy bar. I know they've been popping up around the country, but there's one in Pasadena, and I am just telling you where to look online. It's the Pasadena Speakeasy, so it's great. And so that is what I can give you on vintage events. Again, concerts. Leslie Odom Jr., if you do not know who he is, he played Aaron Burr in Hamilton, and he is a beautiful, beautiful artist. He sings jazz and his own material. He's great. He's coming back out to Los Angeles. Look him up. I love him, so I'm going to put him in my description bar down below. And so I'm going to get to the last topic, which is going to be confidence. Ooh. All right, stay tuned. All right. So now we're going to talk about the number one thing that can get in your way as a pinup of color. Confidence. If you are not confident in what you are doing, if you are not confident in here, I'm not talking about the hair and the makeup and the clothes and all that. I'm talking about in here. If you're not confident in what you're doing, if you think, oh my gosh, what are people thinking about me? Bump what other people are thinking about you. If you look fly and you know you look fly, then there's no reason why you shouldn't enjoy being a part of this community. None at all. I think that being a vintage woman of color has really helped me to not only be confident, but just, you know, just that level of respect is just great. Respecting yourself, respecting how you present yourself to the world is very important. And you get to just be you. Like, I feel like I'm finally able to just really be myself, be present through my journey in life. You know, just taking the time to put my lashes on right, or just taking that second look in the mirror, like, all right, you got this. This is what being a vintage woman is all about, as far as I'm concerned. I think if you are confident, if you love what you're doing, if you can make money with what you're doing, man, why not? Don't let no one tell you that you can't. A lot of the time, there's two things, and I'll tell you the truth. The two responses that I get as a vintage woman of color is, Oh my God, you look great. Where did you get your lipstick at? Where did that outfit come from? Oh my gosh, you look like, oh, this is so, you look great. And then there's the second one. You think you're better than somebody? Why are you being like that? That is so extra. What is wrong with you? That one right there really hurts, especially because I don't know about you guys, but being a woman of color is tiring sometimes because you're constantly trying to think like, okay, is this okay? Is this appropriate? How do people feel about this? Is my hair okay? Am I being too abrasive? Hey, you are who you are. Be who you are. Be present. Talk to yourself. As long as you don't answer, you're fine. Talk to yourself. Hey, I'm beautiful. I'm strong. I'm a beautiful Black woman, and nobody can tell me nothing. And that's what is so cool about being in this community and being a confident Black pinup. So I hope all of this information just touched your soul, made you feel a little bit more confident, helped you look up some more things. And if you want to be styled by moi, I am your girl, Lady Day Rosetta May. Hit me up on Instagram, leaving your name and your number and what you're thinking about doing as far as vintage is concerned, and I'll hit you back. Promise. All right.